Well, welcome back to the Untitled Beer Ranking Show. It's episode 160.
Wow.
We've been doing this for a minute now.
Yes,
So
you
I
have.
didn't make a funny out the way title today. I just put on the road to Kemet because y'all are on the road.
Yeah, yeah. Road again. On the
So I
road
figured we
again.
might as well talk about it. So let's beer in first, and then we can talk about y'all brand new
So
adventure you're
glad to
about
be
to take
on the
on.
road again.
I see Uncle Pooh Bear is at the stage of his life where he wears fedoras inside the house.
Yeah. That's that next level right there. Who gonna be? I'm going first here.
Yeah, you got beer in, Grandpa.
So, so what you do is get my weightlifting. I stay in shape.
Hey,
He say he stay in shape. Yeah.
Got his weightlifting beer bottle. That's cool.
Got his weightlifting beer bottle, and now he got his new bottle opener from Thank you, Crystal.
you're
Yeah.
welcome, Pops.
Bottle opener from Zanzibar. So we this is our pre-Kemet ritual now. We gotta pop a beer from Zanzibar, pop a beer with a bottle opener from Zanzibar. Yeah. And drink it out your weightlifting glass. Oh
Auntie,
man.
Auntie found that on the beach when she drained all the water from the island.
And that's what you call shape up because
Remember that night you showed us how all the tide had rolled away.
Look here, I was just looking at that, and I said I was gonna make a video about it because it was crazy how much it changed in those 6 hours. Like it was super crazy, super crazy.
well, because I'm here with Pops, as he would say, I'm drinking the good stuff. Oh yeah.
I remember, how does Grandpa say that? It's a Stella Artois.
Freddie knows beer. Freddie knows beer, man. What you thinking? Stella Artois? Stella Artois. Yeah, we in the good stuff. We into the good stuff. We got that. Knee deep.
They are a tour. They are a tour.
Stella Artois, drinking our German beer. Hey, we headed to Frankfurt too. And yes, I do work out. Yeah, get a curl in, man. Yes, sir. All right. What you got,
Drinking
John?
that beer faster than you normally would.
You gotta work out.
Oh, I found this.
Yeah.
I got some Samuel Adams Porch Rocker limited edition.
Oh, it's a rattler. It's gonna taste like juice. You know that, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be like refreshing, like a shandy.
it's gonna be refreshing, but they actually put juice in there.
Yeah, like a sandy. Yeah.
It's like a
Oh,
style.
like you showed me, Uncle Pooh, in the video. Just gotta pour it in.
Yeah. You just need more head.
Get all the head in there, like John Tapper in that video.
Good job.
You're drinking your beer wrong if you pour it to the side.
Yeah. It makes total sense, right? When he's showing how it bloat. And
So
that's what people always say about beer too. It's like, man, I feel so bloated after drinking.
When we started this show, like 3 or 4 years ago, we did the pour side method. And then come to find out, we were right all along by just pouring it in the bottle, glass.
Violent pour. What were we wrong about?
Auntie was right. It does kind of smell like juice.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect.
I mean, it's gonna be like if you ever had the Stiegel, something like that. That's what a rattler tastes. That's a rattler.
Well, let me see. I'm gonna let it calm down, let it fizz up a little bit.
That's why you
Because I don't know, because I don't like really super sweet things. I would probably give it a.
That's a fact.
It's not super sweet, but it's not a winter drink either. It's definitely a summer drink. I'm surprised they have it out right now.
It said limited edition. I thought it was just like something new they were trying.
Huh. I don't think I've ever seen a rattler from Sam Adams. But I'm still surprised that they tried it during the cooler months as opposed to the summer. That's a whole summer drink. What's the ABV on it? Like 4 or 5?
4.5.
Yeah.
8 IBUs.
Yeah.
I like
you
that.
would put that down.
Hey,
You would
I'm
definitely
giving-
put that down.
I'm gonna pre-rate it a 5 because I don't know. But Grandpa giving whatever he drinking a 10 today because the way he holding that weight he going through that Artos.
Artur.
Yeah, no, he got Heineken though. Man, I got to get this a solid 4.
Solid 4.
Oh, you weren't
Right.
you were
You're
lying.
right. Let's go with a 3.
No.
You're correct.
This is your first time drinking beer. You look at a mistake like that, come on a 3 and a 4.
Man, it's worse than I thought.
Start out with a 6.
People was actually worse than I thought it was going to be. But we going to Kemet, so I give it a 3.5. I'm going to be generous today.
Man, the way Grandpa said that about this is the first time he's drinking beer reminds me of last week when I think Auntie, did you ask him what his old pickup lines were?
The front seat is empty.
The front seat is empty.
Look here.
We ain't forgot that yet.
I would never forget that. I'm just over there looking at Pops of that jacket, knowing it's hot up there. Like, I'm just like, how?
In his defense, he got the window open for me today. So,
And the heat's off. That's why I got my jacket on.
It's not off. That light is on. Grandpa, fire gives off heat.
That flame.
It is
Grandpa,
not off.
fire in all its forms gives off heat. No matter what, no matter what you may believe.
That's why they're putting out enough heat to send food.
Hey, it is starting to normalize in here, so I might not sweat.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
When I was there last week,
When I was there last week,
Q was talking about he had the window closed and everything, and he was just like, "Yeah, that fire in Virginia generate no heat." I'm like, "Touch it!" Like, ain't no way.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, that heat is crazy.
Yeah, about 3 steps in, I feel that heat. What you got, Chris?
Some good old green tea.
Grain.
Drinking it the good way with some creamer in it.
Some grain tea. So you make your own beer.
No. Let's not talk about beer kits, but no, this is good old green tea with what is that? I was about to say hazelnut cream.
I'm not gonna let you slide on that. You said let's not talk about beer kits. So is that the new venture? Beer is not a game from the creator of Fitness is not a game.
Whoa, no. It's just that years and years ago, I bought your uncle a kit for Christmas or something because he always said it'd be cool to make our own beer. That thing created so much dust and expired. We just had to throw the whole thing away. It was years when I finally just gave up and threw it away. So it's my money lost.
Baseball. I thought it was like baseball cards. You're supposed to keep it in the box and then save it.
That doesn't even almost make sense.
I'll try it.
You had to make some beer.
Yeah, I didn't even
No,
try
he
it.
didn't.
She bought the box and it just went stale.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fun and games until you see his work involved. Like, oh, I don't like that.
See that? That's how Grandpa kept all his hair. He always used all the gifts Grandma gave to him. When you stop using the gifts, that's when you start going bald.
Well, your uncle gonna be bald as that thing there.
Yeah,
I see that. You see, he got his. You see, he's at that stage in his life where he's wearing fedora inside.
Yeah.
I was truly wondering with a t-shirt and shorts.
I'm listening to something.
Joshua said I had reached the stage in life where you wear a fedora inside the house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, t-shirts and shorts with sandals on and white socks.
Mm.
The contrast between y'all outfits in that hot room is incredible.
Like I'm already baffled.
I'm like sweating. It's starting to feel good. Though. I can feel the air on my legs.
Well, let's get to it. So what's correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first excursion from the travel agency y'all made that you're going on?
Yeah, this is the first one. Period.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one. Period for Urban Intellectuals. I travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first one. Period. So that that's mainly why I'm going. And Pop's always wanted to go to Egypt, so let's go.
How about that? You're never too late.
Never too late. We'll be there Saturday.
The shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Should have brought the shirts.
Oh, yeah. I showed him.
Yeah. Morocco, Spain.
No,
Ghana.
yes.
And Egypt, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Slash travel. Oh, yeah. That's
Travel movement, isn't it?
Travel movement. There you go. Give me
travel
right.
movement. Okay. Let me edit that.
Give me right. Yeah, so we're taking our first Black History travel adventure, travel experience tomorrow. So tomorrow, Friday, we fly out of Detroit, then we land. I think we land in Frankfurt first, and then we'll end up in Egypt at about little after noon tomorrow, or noon Saturday. Yeah,
hell of a flight.
Huh?
Our time.
No, their time. Yeah, your time no matter when you get there. It's that'd be like 6 a.m. out here. Right, Chris?
Okay.
Wasn't it like 6 hours ahead?
6 hours from Detroit, yeah.
Oh yes.
So what's the count? Or can you not give how many people are going to go with you guys?
I feel like it's like 34, 35 people.
That's a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, really good turnout. I could be a little low. I don't know. I should know these numbers, but the team know the number, right? Like I'm covered to be hospitable. I'm just gonna be a host.
Well, that's excellent. So, you guys got So, what's the idea here? So, you guys planned a whole trip, or you just guys got a bunch of people access to reasonable pricing for Egypt? Like, how is this going to go?
Yeah, no, the whole trip is planned out. So it's 9 days. So every day, we got each day set up, and all the people have to do is get to Cairo. Once they get to Cairo, we pick them up from the airport. Take them back to the hotel. They're going to relax for a bit. We got a welcome dinner set up. All the meals are included in this particular trip. So, like I said, literally all they got to do is get there. Meals and transportation. We're going to see the pyramids. We're going to see the market. You're going to get a chance to shop, do all that good stuff. We got a 3-day cruise down the Nile. And we'll stop off at various places along the way. And then we'll fly back to Luxor. But all of that travel once they get there is all included. So it's really an all-inclusive trip, right? Other than people want to buy some souvenirs and some gifts.
I just need to see Grandpa in basically what he's wearing now in the desert, trying to touch the pyramid or climb it or something.
Oh, gee.
I gotta get pictures if
he goes out in the sun and he's wearing what he's wearing now or something equivalent to it, that should be the flyer on the picture. The flyer on the picture on the flyer. I'm sorry. Like when you send these out to people, like you're going to Egypt or are you traveling with the travel movement? Just no matter what, just him fully clothed with 3 layers on in the desert.
Look here, he is 93 years old. He can do if it's working for him. Hell, maybe we should all put on coats and sit in front of the heat. Look here, he's obviously doing something right.
You're doing something right. You got that right. Something is going correct.
Now, I'm drinking no Vienna sausage juice, but
Remember talking about wearing a hoodie.
Sauna almost consistently. Let's see, since 1982.
There's the secret, people.
I love my heat. I mean, even when I was blown to Fitness USA, and they called me the Heat Man. You know, guy come in this. I was there this morning, not just yesterday morning, and a brother came in. He came in. He stayed about 15 minutes, you know, and he said, I got to go.
So, Pop, why don't you live in a warm environment?
Huh?
As much as you love the heat, why do you stay in Michigan? Why not a warmer environment?
You know, Grandpa's a linchpin. If Grandpa left Inkster, it would just
Well,
disappear.
you know, he got a song, you know, that's a warm environment. Yeah.
Grandpa's like the Rock of Eternity for Inkster. Like,
whole city just implode. He going to Egypt, it must be going down because Inkster Road is trash. Man, I ain't gonna complain about our roads no more. Like,
hey, they working on it though.
Yeah, they censored it.
They're working on it now.
It was the first
Grandpa's the most positive person. He's like, yeah, the roads are in disarray, but they're working on it.
Yeah, all the young folks are cynic. We were cynical. He's like, no, it's getting better.
He's like, I remember when I first came.
Ain't no high school, ain't no grocery store, ain't no bank, but you know they working on the road.
There's a grocery store. That lady, she bought that liquor store and she changed it into a grocery store.
Allen's?
Yeah, right by the Stardust.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's black owned. It was in the newspaper. She bought the store.
Oh yeah,
and she changed it into a grocery store.
Right next door to the left.
Yeah.
Huh. Y'all got a police force yet? Y'all got a police department back?
I mean, ever since Grandma went to the upper room, we haven't had a security force. No.
Let me give a little history on Allen's store.
I was gonna say it. Go ahead.
We have the honor of having the largest Negro grocery store in the whole United States. Now that's something.
Yeah.
That is.
We come a long way.
Yeah. Alice was at one point was the largest black-owned grocery store in the country. Back when Inkster was thriving, you know, when they had the black hotel and the strip over on Harrison. And
hey, to be positive though, it's still in the top 10 for largest black-owned sizes.
Could have been owned by white, right?
Say it again.
No, I was thinking about the black hotel. I see, but it could have been the largest because the Gotham downtown might have been owned by white people, you know.
Okay, I don't know,
but anyway, I do remember something about we having the largest hotels, you know, black-owned hotel.
I feel like it was one of the first. I don't know if it was the largest, but
yeah.
I saw something in that documentary.
There wasn't no brick. That was all wood now.
That is not good.
Grandpa don't be quitting when he's ahead. He's like, we had the largest black-owned hotel. And he's like, but it was wood. You know.
That is not the boogie.
Fire. Yeah.
Had one window in the entire.
A bunch of crackheads used to run around it.
It wasn't crackheads yet. Remember, when Grandpa first got to Inkster, it wasn't even a road. It was just a field. Yeah. And he planted
when I came out, when my sister come out here, I did not. They used to have those cattle. Watch out for cattle crossing, you know. All up and down Inkster Road, man. Nothing but farmland, you know.
Who came first?
My sister. Yeah, she came out here. Of course, yeah. Really? She came out here in 1942. David, when she come out here, David was a baby. David was a baby.
Wow.
When she come out here. And but see, then I think about that too. Now you got to remember this period in time. Those federally funded housing, right? That was a step up. Now you going from a coal stove in the middle of the house to heated central heat, you know. So that's what you call moving on up, you know.
Jeffersons don't know what they're talking about. They wasn't moving nowhere.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a year to move someplace during World War One or two, right? That was World War II, 1942, right?
I don't know.
Grandpa,
What was that?
that it was World War II, 1942, right?
World War II.
41.
Yeah, was that 1942?
41.
Yeah. Well, it's 42 because December the 7th we got involved in it.
1941. Yeah,
Right, the Germans declared war on us
Pearl Harbor.
because of Pearl Harbor, because they were allies, right? The Germans and the Japanese. They were allies. So when Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, December the 8th, the Germans declared war on the United States. We didn't declare war on them, you know.
When did you
They
go
knew
over there?
it was going to be a Western. We're going to go with Britain.
He was too young for World War II.
Who that? You? Yeah, I was when World War II broke out. I was 12 years old, 11, 12, 19.
Oh, that changes everything. I've been telling people Grandpa served in World War II and Vietnam.
Yeah.
Hey man, just keep going with it. They don't know no difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm Grandpa mentioned it in passing one day. He's like, "Yeah, you know, I was in the military during World War II in Vietnam." I was just like, "Bet."
So now I think he was, because when we went to that tour in Normandy,
Yeah.
he was always interested, but I remember he was over there saying he was too young by a couple of years. What, 6 years?
Yeah, when getting in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course. The night when Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, we were selling papers. You might see them in the old movies. Extra, read all about it. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, you know, and the paper sold for 10 cents. Get that paper 10. Well, that was because it was a Sunday paper. The daily paper was 3 cents.
Wow.
The 3 cent came along, and that was big money then. You know, 3 cents.
Big
2
money.
more cents, you can go to the movie. The movie was a nickel.
I spent for the movies.
It's a long time ago.
What, movies about $20 now?
Yeah.
About $20.
That's a long way from a nickel in it.
That's a long.
On top of that, though, to show you how important a nickel was, you go to the movie for a nickel, and they will give you a free comic book and maybe a day-old pie, you know.
A day-old pie?
Yeah, a day-old pie.
May not be fresh. Who cares whether it's a day-old?
Yeah.
You can't even tell the difference no way.
You got your movie, a comic book, and a pie.
You know what's sad? Due to food regulations, that pie was probably healthier day old back then than now.
What did y'all say?
I missed what you said again.
I said thanks to food regulations, that day old pie was probably healthier back then than it is now.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just watching something that said 50 years ago, the food that's in the grocery store now, 50 years ago, 50% of the food in the grocery stores now wasn't even like created. Like it wasn't even around.
Oh yeah.
Just talk about how fresh the food and how it was actual food, right? Like now we're eating some hybrid.
Well, you know, like
something.
You got all this processed food now.
Right. Maybe that's
you got all this food. You can put it in the refrigerator, you know, and take it out and put it in the microwave. But back in the day, you know, people cooked from scratch, you know.
Yep.
A potato was a potato. It wasn't potato all spiced up. It was if you did any spicing, you spiced it up, you know.
Right.
So, and most of the stuff you take like a few items that I can recall were there, just like spaghetti. You could get spaghetti in a can, you know, back in the day, and you could get beans in a can, you know. But some of the stuff we got now, no way, you know.
Yeah, we can still get beans in the can. They ain't real beans, but
no, I'm just saying
we can get them in the can.
But I'm just saying, well, you could get it back then, beans in the can, you know. But now, you know, it's, you can get everything damn near in the can now, you know. If it ain't in the can, it's in a plastic wrap.
Hey, I got to switch back to the road to Kemet, because I gotta ask you. And I'm gonna ask you this a lot on the trip. Actually.
Okay.
But like Why Egypt? Why Kemet? Why do you want to go? Like, what are you excited about? I don't know. I guess I got all the questions actually.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I'm excited about Egypt.
I know.
What I'm about to say.
The Jews. That's what you about to say. Go ahead. The Jews, right? The Exodus.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just excited about Egypt to go there now because I didn't know anything about Egypt prior, you know, in the past, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a lie. He's covering up.
there was never a connection between our people and Egypt.
Right.
So now it's a whole different story. So you can approach it from a different angle, you know. It's just like I was talking about. I didn't know that Egypt was Hamitic or Hamites or whatever you want to call it, you know, place where black people were at, you know.
Mm-hmm. You didn't know Egypt was black?
Huh?
You didn't know Egypt was black?
No, not until these recent years. You saw Samson and Delilah, you saw Moses. You ever seen any black people playing in any of those parts?
Hold on. There was one movie. There was one movie that actually did a pretty decent job. And that was that animated Pixar movie. Remember?
But you talking about an animated Pixar movie that's still recent though.
No. This was in the 90s.
That's still pretty recent though. The 90s is pretty recent. You know, so you got to think about the context of the movies that he just talked about. When he's talking about Elizabeth Taylor and all that stuff, that's still black and white movies where all Africans are still being portrayed by white people. And they're making it seem like Egypt is fully white. That's what he said, that, you know, at 93 years old, he didn't know that Egypt was black folks. People forget that Egypt is in Africa, which is black folks.
Right. Yeah, and in fact, no connection between Egypt and Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Blacks in Egypt. There's no connection at all, you know. And when I remember, I think it might have been maybe 1942 or 3 or 41, when the 10 Commandments came out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They sold out. The black church bought out the 10 Commandments. But they never thought about, you know, the association that Moses could have been black, you know, or anything like that.
Because in the movie, he white, right?
He white, right?
Charles Hills, my mom used to make us watch that movie every damn year. I hated that movie. It's tired of that dog movie.
Black people were more concerned with the Bible story.
Right. And not with who was in the Bible.
Exactly.
Where we at? Where we at? And all these names like the Hamites and the Obites and all that. We had no idea that there was any association between them people and us, you know. So these lot of this one come now going to Egypt. There's association between black folks in Egypt, you know. Because I remember something. It was not a parable, but it was saying where Paul was on the way to Damascus, I believe it was, and I think some Roman soldiers stopped him and they were talking or something, and he said, and Paul could speak Egyptian, you know. But he could speak Greek, you know. He could speak Greek, that's what it was. But they didn't understand Paul speaking Greek because they thought he was a Hamite, you know. He's speaking Greek, which he was, you know. I mean, this is the history we keep picking up now.
Okay. I'm wondering, you know who Sheikh Anta Diop is, right? So for the camera, that's what I'm looking at. That's the name, Sheikh Anta Diop. So he just wasn't on the radar at all. Like in
my
day? Yeah.
No.
He was born in 1923. He's been doing his work.
But we didn't have no.
That's what I had.
We didn't have this media. We didn't have this media.
Right.
We had no connection with it.
So he's doing work, but he's doing work in isolation.
Remember I was talking about Du Bois.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Crisis magazine, Pittsburgh Courier. We got our information, but I don't know nothing about no W.B. Du Bois. It don't mean nothing to me, you know. Even though the Crisis magazine was his, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
But it don't mean nothing if you ain't got that information, you know. Ain't nobody never said nothing about W.B. Du Bois in church. In fact, you probably heard about none of them in church, you know.
They ain't getting that today.
So, yeah, all that information, you know, is new. That's why you can go to Egypt now with different perspective, just like they say Egypt was named Egypt by the Greeks. Prior to that, it was the Hamites, the Nubia, and all that kind of stuff, right?
Nubia, Kemet.
So I'm interested now, you know, where our lost history was, you know.
Yeah.
You see, Egypt, you saw what Egyptian looked like.
So what's your take on the pyramids? Like what and why? Why?
I asked
why they build something so big?
I asked that question too, and I kind of think maybe it's got something to do with space. I think it got something to do with the attraction or something. Because first they were saying that I heard 1,000 reasons that the pyramids were built. And they were saying that the pyramid was built, and they got the king's chamber and the queen's chamber and all
tombs, elaborate burial grounds.
Okay, if that was accounted for, what about all the pyramids down, you know, over here in South in North America? Here in the United States, we got some pyramids. Tell me down there in Southern Illinois, I never seen them, but they say some pyramids down there.
The mounds.
Huh?
The mounds.
Oh, you know about it?
Yeah.
In Southern Illinois? Yeah.
Then Cahokia.
But did anybody else say why they built them?
They were they looked at them as like burial grounds too for Native Americans.
Yeah, that seems to be the story.
Oh, burial ground for Native Americans.
It's always the simplest. It's always the simplest reason.
Yeah.
Black folks since time immemorial always like to stunt. And when I die, I'd hope that my family cared enough to build me a big ass pyramid like that.
You is silly. No, but I was watching. Well, I've seen a couple of things. So Ashra Kwesi, right?
Yeah.
Chris, you remember Ashra Kwesi, right? Like African origin of Christianity is one of his major pieces, but he was talking about the pyramids all down the Nile. So this is why I'm really curious.
What does he say that they were built? Why would he?
Well, that's the next part, right? So first he was saying like all they say is the pyramids are extravagant burial grounds, but he says they tell you about that in Egypt, Menkaure, Khufu, and I forget the third one. I'm probably butchering those names. Hey, I'm 46. I'm getting to the edge. I wear fedoras in the house. I can just say what I want to say now.
He says getting to the edge.
Yeah, I'm getting to the edge. I can say what I want to. But he was just talking about how down the Nile, there's pyramids all down the Nile. And he was like, when people talk about the pyramids, they only act like they're there at Luxor. They're there in Cairo, right? But he's like, they're all down the Nile. So it's something deeper. Then something else was because, you know, so anyway, all right, let's just go all the way left. You said space, right? Because one, we know that at least the big three in Cairo are attached to the stars.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The center of the universe and the center of the earth, excuse me, and it's attached to the stars. Like it's like they were mapping out the stars, but he started to talk about the Ankh and electromagnetism.
Yeah, that sounds like something I want to hear.
Yeah, that's where they were going with it. Like these were basically generators that was creating power.
Now,
because this idea of electricity, it's new. What's his name? Thomas Edison created electricity, and it's like bullshit. Yeah. They had lights way back when. They was talking about the Moors lighting the streets of Spain and showing them how to do it all. I mean, we talking what's about 1,000 years ago now, over 1,000 years ago. But way before that, they had all of this. So that ties into the electromagnetism. It was like but whatever and the I don't know all the names.
I don't want to use the word spatial, but there's certain places throughout the earth where they got these pyramids. So it got to be some kind of connection.
Something with the earth and the solar system.
Okay. They were talking about like the Mississippi River, and they're talking about Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, you know. And in that area there, they seem to be finding all these different pyramids which associate themselves with Egypt at one time, you know. So these pyramids may be spaced.
Well,
Go
I'll
ahead.
say the connection to Egypt because inside the pyramids they found these boats.
Boats.
Yeah, that was created thousands of years ago that still float.
Yeah.
You know, so because you know they love to tell you that Columbus discovered the West as if nobody else figured out you could put wood on some damn water and it'll float. Like
You know, the funny
we
thing
used to do that on the streets out here in Easton when the
thing
water
about
run down the thing.
how they can change history. They were talking about
From Inkster to Egypt, the boat technology.
connection, man. This is it's where it came from. Inkster's in the middle of it.
Like she's like in East St. Louis, we used to build whole yachts.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like Inkster 2x4 technology will never be comparing to the St. Louis.
I'm find out that the Portuguese, that's the reason, you know, that Brazil has all them Portuguese. The Portuguese, man, they was up and down the coast long before Columbus, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the English, they were the last ones on the scene, right? By destroying the Spanish Armada or something, you know, they took over the seas. They want to make like Columbus came over here and opened up a new world. Oh man.
Well, the Africans have been doing it for
clearly
thousands of years because it dates back to the Olmec culture.
Olmec.
Yeah, even before them, right? Like I'm often talking about the Folsom people, right? Who date back 14,000 years ago here in the United States. Yeah, Folsom.
Oh, okay.
Folsom.
Yeah, they're named after Folsom. They had a prison, Folsom Prison.
Man, these folks be knowing what's happening, and they love to bury us under our knowledge.
Right.
Give it to you. I'm excited to go because I just want to see the pyramids. They say it's just a spectacular.
But the pyramid has been stripped, right?
Well, of course it ain't. You know,
I mean, the caps on the pyramid, weren't they made out of something special? And people stripped
I
the
heard
pyramid.
people say that, but I don't know. Because even there was supposed to be like a limestone coating or some sort of coating on the pyramids. They talk, but it's speculation because now it's just like stones.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have no idea. I just want to see the inside. I want to see the hieroglyphics. You know, I don't know if we can touch them. If I can, I want to touch it too. But I mean, thousands of people touching it would, you know, obviously wreck them. But I just want to see it. I just want to be in awe. But they say the pyramids are there, and all you ever see is a shot of the pyramids, right? So they say if you turn around, it's a whole ass city right there. like literally, Christian. I think I talked about this already. They say it's a Pizza Hut right outside the pyramids. I was like, we're going to the Pizza Hut. I love pizza. Look at your face. You look like the whole team. You gonna go over there and eat pizza? Like, yes, I am. And I'm gonna take pictures of the pyramids from Pizza Hut. That's the ignorant. I'm sorry, we cut y'all out. We on our own show today.
And I'm gonna mention that book. When I get to the pyramid, let me mention that book I bought. Let me try to find it. This black guy has sold these books about the pyramids was a reservoir for water. Yeah, he had me convinced, man. Finally found a solution why the pyramid was built. It was a reservoir, you know. When you needed water in dry times, let the water out.
So the water supposed to be in the pyramid?
In the pyramid. That book cost me, I think at the time, $9.95 too.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one. I don't know. I'm just interested.
You gonna know pretty quick, Grandpa, when you go there.
Yeah. But it's supposed to, I don't know.
Ask them when you get there. Ask them, see what they're gonna say. Ask them about the how the stones were how they made the pyramid with like film. Remember that video I sent you, Uncle Pooh?
Yeah.
Well, how they built the pyramids with like they were filling up. They were all castings, like they were molds. So like they were filling up with like the mixture of like limestone and water and stuff they had. Ask them about that. See how much information on that.
Yeah, well, you know, now the quote unquote Egyptians are Arab, you know, Middle Eastern.
But we haven't. The thing is about that, we have the history on that. Like after Rome fell, the Arabs came into Egypt and took over. So we know where that is.
That ain't the story they tell.
What's
You
the
know,
story they
everybody
tell?
got their own story. That's the thing about history. You know, everybody got their own story of how they were in the middle of it.
But see, the other thing about that is it's always that time frame. And then when they was talking about the Arabs coming in, you know, into and taking over, or the Romans or whatever, you got to go back more than that. You got to go back another 1,500 years to find out who was really there, you know.
Oh yeah, before that,
Yeah,
I go back
because the Romans was there. What, maybe time of Christ, 200 BC to maybe
well, I think
700 AD.
I think 300 BC.
300 BC, something along there,
like
right?
that.
But history go way back. You know, you got 1500 BC when we talk about Queen Nefertiti and Tutankhamun and
yeah. I feel like the pyramids were built. When were they built?
Huh?
Somebody looked that up. When were the pyramids built? I feel like it was like
2000.
Thousands
upon thousands years ago.
Yeah, I looked that one up.
I swear, Google is scary. As soon as I start typing when, where, they pulled up pyramids. That shit is scary. 2550 to 2490 BC.
Yeah.
That's when the pyramid was built.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that makes no sense, you know, because that'll take you. That's even way before Moses and them. You know, they was up there around about the 1500, 1800. You know, you go 2500, that takes you back to the time of maybe I don't know how far back you got to go. Maybe back to Nora.
But see, so the pyramid. Go ahead, Chris. What are you saying?
No, I didn't say anything I was reading, but it did say that it took 100,000 men 20 years to build it.
Yeah, that's the assumption, right?
That's
but
assuming, yeah.
Pyramids. So the other thing I was watching was they were talking about Tutankhamun, right? King Tut. You know, the boy king, right? Literally. And this is an elaborate memorial to him, but they were talking about all of the things that they pull out of his grave, right? Out of his chamber, the king's chamber, and the fine metals and materials that were used to craft these objects. Because they didn't just like, and you know, it's not like it was just his body. You know, it was like, you know, all these valuable minerals that were crafted into, you know, scepters and crafted into like what's their Anubis? What is Anubis? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but you know, the representation is that like dog, like
a
jackal, the jackal figure, right? So they got like well-crafted gold jackals. You know what I mean? Like they are pulling out from 2000 BC, right? You're pulling these things out, so it's like, how was all of this created, right? Like, think about the technology that, like, you would have trouble today. You and I couldn't just build something like if we had a mountain full of gold right here in the backyard, we can't just craft a jackal. You know what I mean? Like what type of technology did they have to have? It ain't like it was like rough and rigid. They're smooth and precise. And
you know, you take like there's a lot of technology that was not contributed to Africa as far as like smelting is concerned.
There we go. Yeah,
that's they're smelting iron and making things thousands of years, you know, but nobody never know about it, you know. Where the craft came from, you know, some of these tribes over there smelting on and making all kinds of steels and metals and things, you know.
Yeah, they didn't craft. They don't attribute it to us.
They don't attribute it to us.
Hey, so I'm reading through it. Like, it was actually Pharaoh Khufu who began the first pyramid.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The biggest one.
Khufu.
Right, and then his son Khafre built the second one. His is the one that also includes the Sphinx, and then the third one is the smallest one. Is built by Pharaoh Menkaure. And this is more
call it Minkara, but it's probably
That might be right. It's Menkaure.
Yeah, Minkara, maybe.
Here's a book by Gates. Let's see what he said about the pyramids. Hank gave me this book.
I don't trust Skip.
You don't trust Gates?
Skip is compromised.
Well, Gates, he finished what W.B. Du Bois started this.
Yeah,
Skip, you don't trust him either?
No, I don't. No, I trust later W.B. Du Bois, but Skip is compromised. He take that white money and he abides by their beck and call.
Who is Skip?
Henry Louis Gates Jr. Skip. They call him Skip. Yeah, Skip, because he a lapdog. That's why they gave him a little nickname, little young Skip.
Dang.
Skippy.
Yeah. Anyway, he researched all that's about Africa alone. And I just wondered about the pyramid. What did he say?
He compromised. I don't know. You know, but it's easy to sit from where I sit and say somebody compromised.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, take anything I say.
Du Bois there?
Uh-huh. Du Bois Du Bois was compromised though.
Yeah. He turned directions though.
Yeah, that's what they say.
He was in that compromise of the talented 10, you know.
Mm-hmm. When you listen, I say it all the time. When you take white money, you do what white people tell you to do.
Yeah, I guess so.
And that's why he was W.B. Du Bois was a lapdog of them white people. Kanye was talking about them white people. I'll leave it at that. I want your show to get shut down, Josh.
Hey, like I said, I'm just a cameraman.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about the body. I know he said something about what he was on the same thing that Trump was on about. Wake up the Jewish population or something.
Well, I mean, you know, he owned the truth, right? Because historically, there's certain white people that get involved with our movements that start to fund it and then start to change the direction of it. Because we always get trapped in black people with money don't support the movement.
Yeah, right.
So the movement
follows the money.
Follows the money. And then when other people come in with the money, then now they got your ass. Because either you adhere to what we say or we cut the money off. And Skippy, young Skippy working in Harvard is part of that. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just curious because I kept researching and reading about these pyramids because you mentioned King Tut. And when I searched the pyramids, they didn't say anything about it. King Tut was never in the pyramids.
No, where did I get that?
He was in the tomb, right? And that's why the article's talking about, because a lot of people think that he was in the pyramids. He was in the tomb for the Valley of
the Kings. Valley of the Kings. Yeah,
they were saying it was totally different because even though the pyramids did house, you know, areas for people to be buried, they were way more visible, whereas tombs were built in private and they were underground, and that's where King Tut was.
Yeah, the Valley of the Kings. Though.
Yeah,
we're going there.
Valley of the Kings.
Yeah, we're gonna see King Tut.
Oh, King Tut?
Yeah. Well, at least his chamber. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
He did a world tour. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if he's back yet.
I don't know if he's back.
Yeah, King Tut.
We're right. The Valley of the Kings. Yeah.
His father was Akhenaten, right?
Akhenaten.
And mother was Nefertiti's. I don't
know what his mother was.
I think Akhenaten and his mother was Nefertiti's. But I said that to say. What I got in my mind on the last 10 seconds. If I don't interrupt somebody, I lose it. But what is it, Akhenaten? I know that was his father. And,
so Nefertiti is his stepmother, and they said his biological mother. They just they don't even really have a name for her. They call it a younger lady, YL something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, that wasn't his real mother.
So King Tut also married his half sister. So King Nefertiti was his stepmama and his mama-in-law. Come on, House of the Dragon. Target.
Bloodline type.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Halfway, one. Oh, okay, I take it back.
So they said there's not a lot of information about his birth mother, but it's believed that she died before he ascended the throne.
Oh, yeah, because he died at like 12 or 14 or something, right? Like
when he ascended the throne.
When he ascended the throne. So
Yeah,
how long-
when
He died for a couple of years though.
yeah.
He was a young boy when he died. Come on, Chris, give us the time.
Yeah, you got the
I'm
details.
already on it.
I'm over here with young Skippy Gates.
He ascended the throne by the age of 9 and ruled only for 10 years before dying at 19 years old.
He was 19.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
That's
Skippy
wild.
here talking about the Romans, the British. You got everybody else in here.
Well, he was running in that era because that
I don't
was
mess with
he's
Skippy.
talking something like what? 1000 AD, 800, 700 AD, back on down. But I think the Greeks didn't even come into power until about 300 and some AD.
Like John Henry Clark said, Africa was old and tired by the time these Johnny come latelys came along.
And you know what? I'm sorry. I got to step back to what Pops was talking about. When you first asked him why did he want to go, and he said that, you know, he didn't even realize Black folks were in Egypt. Like, even if you look at it, I think I probably need to share my screen on this, but it's just like, even the images that they're recreating now, they showed them as light. And I don't know if you remember, but when Jael was in, what was that, pre-K? There was this one little girl in this class, and they didn't refer to her. She was Egyptian. Remember? Cute little girl. What was it? Amani, or something like that. And I remember thinking, I was like, Egyptian? Like, it threw me off because I was like, she don't look Black to me. But they were very clear with saying Egyptian as opposed to saying from Africa or anything like that, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm just looking at all these pictures of let's see, of the recreation of what King Tut was supposed to look like. And then you look at it, even Nefertiti, all of their skin is fair. It's almost like South Africa. Nephew, do I have the option to share?
Yeah, if you post if you open up another, if you hit present,
present. Yep. Let's see. There we go. Yeah.
There we go.
But it's just like, I'm just looking at these images and what they say they think he looked like. Then I was looking at how fair they showed Nefertiti as well, but
they've always shown it's fair.
No, I'm saying even in the statues and the monuments, it was, and I never even realized how fair skinned they showed her. But it's just interesting now, just looking at it. Where if you look at this, like, I see what Pops was saying. You don't even realize that it's African as Black folks. Especially because we weren't even taught that Black folks came in different colors. That part.
What was it?
That's where the confusion came to with a lot of Caucasians. They consider African, you got to be a Mahu or dark, or something like that. They can't separate the idea that we come in all different shape, forms, and fashion.
Yep.
And I'll tell you about the Caucasian asked a friend of mine. No, he didn't ask it. He was telling me about the Black population, And my friend said, "I'm Black," And the Caucasian first response was, "No, you're not." And he gonna tell me because he was so fair. In fact, we laugh about it. You couldn't tell the difference, But still, he's asking. So it's a matter of distinction. If you're below a certain thing, they will consider you an African. If you're above that, they can't come to that concept that we can be the same color and you be an African and I'm not being African.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying, and like for the younger kids, they're trying to retroactively correct a few things like that. So there's a show that Sebastian watches called PJ Masks, right? And one of the people like on there, is I guess a mummy or something that comes back to life or something. But he comes back in like how he looked when he was alive, as opposed to being wrapped up and stuff. And he's dark skinned little black boy. And I was just like, okay, so that's the first. That's the first time I've ever seen something like that. And then I think Moon Knight.
Mm-mm.
It's a Marvel comic superhero. Well, in a recent volume, they said a different like they have like there's the right-handed Khonshu and there's the left-handed Khonshu. The left-handed Khonshu, which they haven't shown until this, like never even brought him up. This is a whole new character. It's a black dude. Like certain mediums are trying to fix what the past has done by erasing black people from Egypt and like the younger kids TV shows, like because whatever Sebastian watch, I always try to see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And like I saw it, I was just like, okay, because there's like Moon Knight's an Egyptian-based superhero, right? Mm-hmm. But the dude who's also a Moon Knight, the newer one, is a black dude. So when I see that, I'm seeing that like at least we need to do a better job at this, and we do. If you ever hear of a company called Black Sands, they have their own like comic book thing, and they make a lot of stuff more historically accurate. I think I got most of their stuff, but it's newer mediums of like TV shows and comics and stuff out for kids that show Egyptians as being black, obviously black, not like questionably black, if that, even if you get that. There's like more like you see them how they will look in certain hieroglyphics, how they show the skin tone like of someone who will be there at that time period, as opposed to someone who invaded there from Europe at the tail end of everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's funny you say that because I was reading through Skip's talk about Egypt.
What did he say about the
in the first damn paragraph, he done jumped to the Greeks and the Muslims taking over Egypt. Like he already talked, like he don't even go into none of the Egyptian history or the Kemetic history before that. He jumps right to white folks, right? Like it's just I don't know, man. I get what Josh is saying. Like we got to be careful on who we supporting because they're putting out a narrative that is destructive to our future. You know, it erases our past, which is destructive to your present, and it's gonna kill your future. Actually, man, it's snowing. Oh, it's time.
It's snowing.
Yeah, it's time to get on the plane. We out of here.
Snowing.
Yeah, you don't see that.
Man, that's ash.
Yeah, it is little flakes.
Yeah, ash.
That's ash. That's the crackheads waking up. That's the crackheads waking up and like shaking themselves off.
Yeah, it must be a lot of them. Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, well, I guess we'll wrap up. We'll start wrapping up the show. I saw what time it was. You will get final thought.
Don't give your final thought.
Go
ahead. We was talking about you end with that.
Oh, it won't be. My final thought will come later then.
Later, it's the time.
Okay, I'll leave what I was going to say alone. Now, my final thoughts is we have a lot to learn, and I'm glad everything is coming up now in this age and time because a lot of stuff we keep talking about now, I never even heard of, when I was in my youth, there was no connection whatsoever, Just like one thing we were talking about, Christ hiding out in Africa, Now, if I don't know that, not in Africa, in Egypt, but if I don't know that Egypt is black, then it won't be no problem with me thinking, that he could hide out there. But you can't hide out unless he's black too,
Yeah.
See all this thing. But my final thought is we're learning, and I'm happy to be a part of it. It's been a long road. My generation is, because all this stuff, man, is didn't even start until the 50s and the 60s, They never told us identity. So my final thoughts is I'm one of the few who's living around here still to see what my people can do. And one more thing I'm going to say.
Go for it.
and that is, and I hope y'all can see it now. I keep talking about incremental change, but I see the black woman, man, and she's putting up mark. She's putting a mark on that incremental change, and they keep making it, you know. And I keep on saying the black woman is the black man's liberation, salvation, whatever it is. And y'all gonna see what I'm talking about for long. They in the politics, they got lawyers, man. There's some heavies out there. Supreme Court justice bringing some shit out that people never even want to talk about, you know.
You know, when we get to reparations, that'll be true.
She rising. That's my final thought.
With you. Tell her hurry up, get the reparations. Let's get
reparations coming.
Hey,
well, at least she'll talk about it. There's somebody you want to talk about it.
Yeah, point there.
When reparations comes, Grandpa, I'll make sure I buy you a nice case of Stella Artois so we can celebrate.
Say you gonna buy you a nice case of beer.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Get the real stuff now. We don't want none of that. I said, get the real deal.
Grandpa wants a beer that comes in a barrel that has 3 X's on it.
Yeah, he actually loves that.
Yeah.
What's that?
Y'all see how I worked out this day?
No name, no label. It just says beer with 3 X's on it.
Right. Pop's working out for Egypt. Let's get ready to go.
What's your final thought, Auntie?
Man, I'm just excited that at 93, Pops is going to Egypt. You know, like I said, it's never too late. He's always wanted to see it. Like, it's just amazing that you get to experience it with your baby boy. Your 3rd trip over to Africa, your travel buddy, which is so dope. And, you know, I could just imagine at whatever, 70, 80, shoot, even 50, 60, thinking that he would never get a chance to see the pyramids. And it's happening that's a shame about the pyramid, but it's happening at 93. That you get to see it.
Yes.
And your baby made it happen. So it's pretty dope. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see the pictures.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you sap. Don't be making everybody cry out here.
To be fair to you, based on what Grandpa just said, it's actually you who made it happen.
The black woman.
Yeah, right. Look, and then the black woman trying to give credit away. That boy
just giving the credit away.
Yeah.
What's your final thought, Uncle Pooh?
My final thought is, man, I can't wait to get to Egypt with this dude. This is gonna be amazing. We're gonna have a great time. I'm gonna agitate him with questions. We got a film crew. I don't know if I mentioned that, right? So we got a whole film crew documenting while we there. So I definitely want you talking to them. We gotta get you.
Can I talk about my running?
Man, I'm paying for the film crew. Whatever you want to talk about.
Whatever you feel like talking about.
Whatever you feel like talking about. Grab a cameraman and say, point
Come on over
it.
here.
That microphone. I got something to say.
Tell you about the time that I ran over there in Tennessee? Not Tennessee.
Oh, you talking about you talking about
who didn't know nothing about it? Yeah, we did. I told him y'all was there, and I ain't already made the semifinal, but I got knocked out and couldn't, and then make the the finals.
Because we came to the hotel, and then we went and got something to eat. We sat outside because it was nice and sunny. It was a beautiful day. The Louisville sign right there outside of the restaurant we were sitting at.
Was it Jimmy John's or something?
I can't remember. That's why I was trying to find the pictures. I can't find the pictures though, but we took pictures outside.
So that seemed to have been real popular on the Louisville campus.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you look, you saw Jimmy John.
Yeah.
I just thought he might have been where he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2007.
Well, 3:00 tomorrow, we headed to Egypt. So on the road to Kemet. I can't wait.
On the road to Zanzibar.
That's funny. Well, I'm assuming.
Zanzibar with a Bob Hope and Ben Crosby. But I ain't never know what Zanzibar was. I didn't know it was in Tanzania.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that we're not doing the show next week.
Yeah, we probably gonna miss it.
Yeah, we're probably not gonna do the show next week.
It just kind of depends on when our day's in because we 6 hours.
I mean, I'm not even worried about it. We'll just do a recap when you come back.
Yeah. Maybe we'll shoot y'all some video.
Yeah, that might work it out. Hey, just to confirm, are y'all coming over later today before I turn this grill on?
You feel like driving? I ain't got nothing to do. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure once I turn this grill on, it's all downhill from there.
Chris is not looking pleased about our decision here.
I'm just.
Yeah. We gotta eat dinner.
I got 2 grills. I light up my grill.
Just want to make us a farewell dinner. I mean,
I was making an order, but yeah.
Yeah. Hey, same difference. We gonna eat it for dinner.
But yeah, I'll see you guys in. Let me start this up so you'll be ready by the time y'all come over here. What time y'all coming by?
They can't come.
Yeah, probably about 5 or 6. I got a couple of hours. I gotta get to the desk and do something. So.
All right, cool. Well, I'll see you guys then. Thanks everybody for watching the show, episode 160. Multiple years in. Grandpa's 93 now. He was what? You were 89 or 90 when we started this, Grandpa?
That was 2019 when y'all started. So 3 years ago, he's 90.
Okay. For some reason, I thought he was 89 when we started, but
you know what? You were. It was right before his 20. It was right before his 90th birthday.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That was the year Neoma passed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because y'all started like in May or June. It was like right after she passed. It wasn't too long after she passed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cheers to consistency.
Cheers to consistency. Cheers to Grandma.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Coolness.
I know. Don't be surprised if you see a picture of her in one of them walls of the pyramid. just two guns.
She on her way to Africa.
Yeah, she on her way.
I love you guys. We'll see you soon.